The big news from Gore is Gore-Tex Pro, and as you can see from this moving mannequin, Gore-Tex Pro is really flexible. It is also very rugged and very breathable. Now, how this works, I had an interview with one of the Gore specialists, so let's have a look at this right now, somewhere outside on this trade show. With me is Mark McKinney. You work for Gore.
I do.
Let's not make the mistake you work for Gore-Tex. Because a lot of people still think that Gore-Tex is the brand name, but maybe you could explain in short what the difference is between the two.
Sure. So Gore is our overall company. It has 3 divisions, and one of those divisions is our fabrics division, and part of our fabrics is Gore-Tex. So it's our brand name for our fabrics.
Okay. Now for 2020-21, Gore-Tex Pro. A totally new material for Gore. Could you explain what Gore-Tex Pro is all about?
Sure. So Gore-Tex Pro, we're launching 3 technologies. So we have a totally new membrane, which is Gore-Tex Pro Most Rugged, which is as it says on the label, it's a more rugged membrane. So extremely rugged.
The label?
Yeah, the label. Extremely rugged, highly breathable, and very durable. We also have a Gore-Tex Pro with stretch, which stretches, again, it's in the name, and we're looking at that really durable stretch. And then we have Gore-Tex Pro Most Breathable, which maintains our existing breathability level, but brings in a new solution dyed backer. And actually, we have a reduced environmental footprint across all of our products.
That's one of the big questions and challenges for the whole Gore company, I think, at the moment. Because we know about the membrane, and you're working with that. Well, there was a statement a while ago that you were going to change the membrane from PTFE to something else.
So Gore has a published environmental policy.
Yeah.
We have many membranes.
Yeah.
Some of those are looking at immediately a reduced environmental footprint.
Yeah.
And those tend to be used in lighter end uses. So we have a policy which marks out which membrane or which technology will move when.
Okay.
And our plan is for Gore-Tex Pro that we're working on just now. For 2023, we would have a new membrane technology with a reduced environmental footprint at a membrane level. But for our message for 20, we can change the environmental footprint of all of our textiles. And that's what we've done.
Okay. I was not suggesting that you need to do it because of environmental issues. It's more like I'm the guy who says that sustainable is also being durable.
Sure.
And I know Gore products are durable. So, in my opinion, you don't always have to change everything if it's a durable, long-lasting product. Yeah. Now, into regard to the new Gore-Tex Pro, it should be rugged, so it should be very durable. Mm-hmm. How did you test it?
So, that's a great question. We tested it within our laboratories. So we had, for our most rugged, we have what we called a 5-finger scratch tester, which is
that's the one that's used in the car industry.
Absolutely. It comes in the car industry, it tests plastics. I'm an engineer, I love it. Okay. Because it's really arduous and it just rips up everything.
Yeah.
And we were able to measure and see where could we make performance improvements on that durability. Yeah. But we then took that lab test and we tested it also in the field. So we used it with our athletes, we used it with our pro testers. So these are men and women who are in the mountains more than 100 days a year. They're out there day in, day out in the worst weather. So mountain guides, avalanche teams, they were using it for several years.
Now, I've got the same jacket as you have, with the stretch panels in it. Mm-hmm. I'm surprised about the amount of stretch, because of sample size mine is a little bit on the biggish side because I'm a small guy and quite narrow. How much stretch is actually in the construction of the membrane laminate?
So we've compressed the laminate by 20%. So that allows 20% elongation under force.
Yeah, but that means that the membrane itself, it is compressed as well?
Absolutely. So we've taken the face, the membrane and the backer in a relaxed state, let's call it that. So they are produced in a balanced way, and then we ensure that that's compressed to give us that 20% of stretch in use.
And now let's be nerdy. If we talk about stretch, I talk about elastibands the whole time. When you have an elastiband and you stretch it, it's still, well, compressed in the middle between your fingers, so that's the full thickness. When you stretch it, it gets thinner. This is the same way how the Gore-Tex Pro works?
So it's actually the reverse. So if I take your analogy of the elastic band, if we stretch it, the piece in the middle, so you stretch it 20%, the piece in the middle will then become a normal Gore-Tex Pro most rugged laminate with a 40 denier face, a most rugged film, and a regular backer. And so it would be at its normal level when it's 100%.
So in that way it's more like a harmonica construction than an elastiband.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now you have the breathability numbers. What is it on the Gore-Tex Pro?
So it depends very much on the technology.
Yeah, of course.
So for our Gore-Tex Pro most breathable, we're getting down to an RET level of 3 on those lighter faces. We have a 30 denier face that's new for the launch, so plain the rip and 30 denier. That allows the minimum resistance of breathability through the textile. So that gives us our best number. So our most breathable uses our lightest and our midweight faces, and our most rugged uses our midweight and our heavyweight faces. So even our most rugged membrane with our heaviest faces are still in the highly breathable range. So the range of scale. So we go from RET of 3, and then we'll be up to an RET in the region of 7 or 8 for one that's focusing on ruggedness rather than breathability.
Now there's also a big thing going on in sustainability and how you make the materials itself. You told me something about dyeing. What is the way how the face fabric is dyed?
So with our faces, we have multiple options on dyeing methods for the faces, but also for the backers. So within the industry, most of the textiles go through a jet dyeing process, so a bath dye. So it gets basically coated on the outside. Absolutely.
Like what you explained in the press conferences with, what's the thing called in English?
A radish.
A radish. Radijs in het Nederlands.
Indeed.
Radish. So that one is purple on the outside, pink purple, and it's white on the inside. So that's the way how it's normally done.
Absolutely.
How do you do it?
So we're using solution dyed, also known as dope dyeing, and we add colour pellets while the nylon is still at a pellet stage. So before it's extruded into yarn. So when it's extruded into yarn under temperature and pressure, the colour goes all the way through it. And so that's when we think of it as being a carrot.
Like
through the
it's
middle,
orange all the way.
It's orange all the way, absolutely. So that solution dyeing technology uses less water and less energy. We use it in our backer textiles, but also in our face textiles. So that gives us a reduced environmental footprint wherever it's used. So
there's a reduced amount of water that's being used as well?
Absolutely.
So a lot.
Reduced water and reduced energy. Comparably, we see about a 47% reduction.
Okay, that's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot.
It helps.
If we talk about water, one of the big questions I always get is like, how do I take care of my gear? And there seems to be a sort of thinking that you cannot wash Gore-Tex gear. Please. I know it's rubbish because you can wash it. I do it not all the time, but I do it when I need it.
Yes.
Just to get it more, longevity extended. What's your point of view on this?
So that's a great question. Fundamentally, washing your gear, if done properly, will make it last longer. You get the dirt, the sweat. If you think about the dirt going into the textiles, that's just a braiding. So you want it to be clean. Washing those sweat contaminants, those body oils and fluids, getting them out of your garments. that's not just an odour issue, that's just an all-round performance. It happens to us all.
Yeah.
It's just better for the garment because you're allowing the pores to be empty, open, allow breathability, allow moisture vapor transfer.
Yeah.
So we have some really clear washing instructions. I can't tell anybody wash at a set time period because we're all different.
Yeah.
I certainly wash my garments regularly, and it depends on the end use. So if you think your garment is looking dirty or it's just a bit grimy, follow the instructions, make sure the pockets are empty, zip it up.
Take your phone out.
Take your phone out, don't put in your lip balm or nothing like that.
That's good waterproofing though.
Yeah, not so good for jackets.
No.
So follow the instructions, and it's on the web, and your garment will last longer. And of course, if the garment lasts longer,
you're sustainable.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Sometimes it's actually nice to see what I'm doing for the ISPO jury and to see my name below, well, basically the statement that I wrote on behalf of the jury meeting. The product of the year in the category outdoor hardware, it is the ProteGear, and they call it a smart safety tool, and actually it is pretty smart because it does something that, well, some other emergency tools do as well, like sending SMSs, that kind of stuff, staying in contact with home, let friends know wherever you are, but it does one thing that, to our opinion, nobody else does. There is an acceleration measurement device inside this one. And when you crash, for example, on your skis or with your mountain bike, or maybe turn over in a boat at full seas, at high seas, it will send out automatically a SOS to the emergency services. And that reduces the response time quite dramatically. So in that respect, I think it totally deserves to be the product of the year. My sweet colleagues, they're all here. Winner of the Gold ISPO Award in the category sleeping bags and mattresses is the Marmot Warm Cube Gallatin 20. About the sleeping bag itself, we will talk later at the Marmot booth. But when we were testing this sleeping bag during the ISPO Experience Day, there was one thing that all the journalists noticed, and that's the zipper. Because when I open this zipper and close it, open and close it, the fabric behind it, it doesn't snag, and that happens with quite a lot of zippers. Now, we thought this was a totally new zipper, but earlier today I discovered at the YKK stand, or the booth, that this is not the case, and I actually came in full contact with just this very little part. This is YKK, this is a really big zipper. And the secret behind the nice system is this very small part. And now I will have to zoom in, but this small part actually prevents the fabric from snagging into the zipper. The most fun at the jury experience day from ISPO we had with basically this boot. The Salewa Mountain Trainer 2 Winter Gore-Tex. This one is a male version. One of us was wearing it, and when we went up into the snow it was perfectly all right. But then we went down where the snow was melting a bit, and we came across this muddy terrain. And what happened? We went almost into knee deep with the shoes into the mud. That's why they are dirty. So with ISPO jury meeting we test them as well, resulting into a gold winner for Salewa in the category footwear. With me is Debbie Reed. Explain your function, because I read your business card and it says like sustainable officer manager.
Yeah. It can be complicated. So I'm corporate responsibility manager for Equip Outdoor Technologies. Equip Outdoor Technologies own both the Rab brand, so I'm modeling here, and Lowe Alpine.
And the Lowe Alpine is the backpack. We mainly know this from the backpacks.
Yeah.
I've been reviewing quite a lot of gear from Rab and Lowe Alpine as well. Mm-hmm. And I always seem to have a sort of complain about the fact that you are not being as sustainable as I think you could be in regard to other companies. But I know from the Dutch distributor that you've been behind the screens, not telling anybody, working hard on getting more sustainable. Explain this to me.
So we have been quiet, that's for sure, but sustainability has always been core to what we've done. Our products are always developed with longevity in mind. They're repairable, they're washable. We've always made high quality technical equipment to last, which probably is the main thing we can do to develop a sustainable product. So it's always been there. What we've done over the last couple of years is really looked at what's going to be right for us and our brands. And this is a great example. This is the new Microlite, which is released this autumn, winter 20. This is a recycled outer and a recycled liner. But what we're really excited about is it's got recycled down in there. So recycled down is coming from post-consumer waste. So it's bedding, which is taken, treated, cleaned, treated again with Nick wax to make the water repellency work for it. Put in these products, it's the same quality as virgin down, it's saving us using a virgin material, and it's saving a waste product going to landfill. It's a great idea.
And it's not mixed with new virgin materials?
Nope, it is 100%
and it still gives
down.
this isolation value that you want to have the product?
Yeah. It's great, and it's the same quality. You wouldn't know the difference other than we'll have a label on it that says recycled down.
But that's the cool thing about being, sustainability.
There's no compromise.
You want it to work for you.
And
it doesn't need to be different in that respect. You don't have to see it. It's better knowing it.
Well, we tested it in this is the Horizon Down hoodie here.
That's the one that's on sale now already.
So this is on sale now. So we tested it out in this. On sale this autumn winter. It's gone so well that we've now taken the leap and we've put it in our most iconic product, one of our biggest ranges. We think it's the right thing to do. It's the right solution for us.
But now this is down winter. How does this relate to, well, let's say hard shells, soft shells that are for summer? Are you doing the sustainability thing there as well?
Yeah, we've got recycled materials going in wherever we can now. We're marking them up by on the labels. We're now putting a recyclable or a sustainable icon on the labels, which will tell consumers. We're not going for big green logos and worlds and leaves. For us, this is about a technical product that still delivers technical value, but also has sustainability credentials. So you'll find that marked more and more in our products moving forward.
You mentioned it earlier, longevity. Longevity means that you have to take care of your products. Now, I see in the labels all the time that you work together with Nick wax.
Yeah, we do.
Tell me why.
Yeah. So the Rab brand, many of you I'm sure know, developed with Rab Carrington, a British mountaineer. Rab has had a long relationship with Nick wax. He's worked with the brand for a very long time, another great British brand, a lot like Rab. And we've continued that partnership ongoing. We don't see any reason to change it. They develop great quality product that suits what we do. So we just continue to work with them and offer that as advice to consumers as well.
So you notice a big difference between washing, for example, a hard shell with a regular detergent or with a product from Nick wax?
Yeah, for us, we know the research that Nick wax have put into developing a product that will keep, we all value our outdoor kit. It has a tough life. It gets all sorts of grit and grime and sweat and water on it. We know that what Nick wax do can take that, clean it, and keep it back out in as good quality as we would hope it to be. Okay,
this is what Nick wax sort of told me already, but that's Nick wax, and I like to hear it from somebody else. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
Okay, washing, that's one thing. But then I treat my stuff with a Nick wax afterwards as well to get the DWR coating back on it again.
Yeah.
How does the new products, the sustainable ones, what kind of DWR do you use?
Yeah, so we all recognise the issues around some of the coatings that are used, the fluorocarbons that are used, and the issues that they perceive to have with the environment. We are trying really hard to remove them where we don't need them. So on non-technical products, so things like linings, we're taking DWR fluorocarbon coatings off and we're replacing them with C6 or fluorocarbon-free solutions.
Yeah.
We are doing that in the non-technical parts of our products. Where our products are highly technical, we still are using a coating that has a fluorocarbon solution in until we can develop a solution that we think will give you the right protection and protect the material well enough. Yeah. Once we've got that solution in place, we will change. But at the moment, we're not happy enough with the solutions that we're seeing. So highly technical materials will still have a coating on, but all the non-technical.
Because you want your
high
technical spill to work.
Yeah. If they don't work, you will end up not using that product and buying something else, which is going to have a bigger environmental impact.
That's not sustainable at all.
Not getting those products right.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Now there's one thing that's over there which you want to talk about as well, the red one.
I have. We've got the red one here. So this is very similar to the Microlite. This is the Cirrus HL, which stands for high loft.
Yeah.
So this is similar to the Microlite, and it's a recycled outer, recycled liner, but this has got a recycled insulation made from post-consumer waste, which is PET plastic
Which
bottles.
is not down in this case.
Not down in this one. So if you're someone who doesn't want to use down, this gives you that alternative and another great way of using up a waste product.
But you're not going to label it vegan?
No, no, we're not. We're not.
Because
no.
I see some brands doing this, because it's totally made out of plastic, all of a sudden it starts to be vegan.
Yeah, no, we're not. When people ask us that question, we can now give them 3 options. So if you want to buy down, we've got all our down is responsibly sourced and it's available, so there's high welfare standards. We've now got the recycled down in there, so if you're concerned about carbon and waste, we can now offer recycled down.
Yeah.
If you don't want an animal product, you can buy this synthetic product, and this one, as I say, is actually a recycled synthetic. What we're not doing is offering it as a vegan product. We'll let people make their own choice about that.
It's like not being labeling everything big.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Thank you so much.
No problem, it's great to talk.
Rab to Lowe Alpine.
Here we are.
I don't have to explain who you are anymore, so that's a good thing. What's new for Lowe Alpine, not only on the product, but also again on the sustainability part?
Yeah, so similar to what we talked about over there, this is part of a long-term change for us to just get more sustainability within our products. Again, with Lowe Alpine, we've always built great products, built to last, repairable. You know, the most important thing is longevity of product.
Yeah.
What we're now doing is integrating that with things like recycled fabrics. So this is entirely recycled fabric. This is out Spring/Summer 20, so you'll see this out pretty soon, the Halo. And moving through into Autumn/Winter 20, we've got a range now. So this is the Pioneer, we've got the Clettersack, again recycled fabrics. We're moving into fluorocarbon free. So we touched on that a little bit around the corner. For us, for Lowe Alpine, every fabric that we now purchase from the end of last year is fluorocarbon free. Now, what we're not doing is suddenly stopping production and swapping to fluorocarbon free. Mm-hmm. That would mean an awful lot of fabric waste.
Yeah.
There's an environmental impact of that. So we're doing inline changes on a lot of our ranges. So you'll start to see that fluorocarbon free fabric coming through in a lot of our existing ranges. But for new ranges like this, we're building it into the product from the word go.
When will you run out of existing fabric and be totally into new fabric?
It varies range by range, but we're hoping by Autumn/Winter 20 the majority will be fluorocarbon free.
And the Halo?
Yes, Halo.
What's the purpose of it? Is it a commuting city pack?
So it's for anything really. I mean, it's certainly commuting city. It's got an opportunity to put a laptop in there. This is what I actually bought to come to the show with.
Okay.
So it's great. There's enough space in there to put everything you need for a couple of days away. It's a real all-round city pack that you can use, and you can just see from the images we've got that go with it. It's used for sort of all occasions really.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem.